every January, I used to tell myself this would finally be the year I got my money under control. I would feel motivated, hopeful, almost relief, like a fresh start was exactly what I needed. But this year was different. This year was the first time I actually followed through. I saved over $100,000 and managed to cut my work week from 3 to 2 while keeping the same income. That didn't happen overnight, and before that shift I was stuck in the exact same loop every single year. And if you're watching this right now, there is a good chance this feels familiar. I would spend money to feel better in a moment, crash emotionally right after, and then repeat the cycle until January came around again. And by then, January already felt like a reset. I had somehow ruined before it even was started. December always made things worse because those final weeks of the year with holidays, gift, travel, and just this one spending quietly shaped the entire year that followed. That's when I realized something important. The real cost wasn't money itself, the cost was not changing. If I didn't break this pattern, I would keep starting every new year behind, stressed, and focused on undoing damage instead of building savings. And once I saw that clearly, everything shifted. So let me walk you through what actually changed, starting with the first thing I did. Number 1, reviewing the last 12 months of spending. The first step was simple but uncomfortable. I went back to my entire year of spending month by month. I didn't justify anything. I didn't soften the numbers. I just looked at the truth. And one month stood out immediately, and that was December. When I saw the numbers, I finally understood how different the reality was from what I had assumed in my head. That month, I made 3 major purchases. The first one was my robot vacuum and mop. I bought it because it saves me hours every single week, and when I spend less time cleaning, I can spend more time building my YouTube channel. That wasn't a random purchase, it was an investment in my future. The second one was my coffee machine. I used to buy coffee almost every week. Now I make better coffee at home for less money, and it actually improved my daily routine instead of draining it. The third purchase was my Dyson hairdryer. This one mattered for a different reason. I hadn't allowed myself to enjoy anything all year, so this wasn't about the product, it was about acknowledging progress and allowing myself to celebrate hitting my goals. Reviewing all of this gave me a type of clarity I had never had before. Instead of asking where did I mess up, I start asking what does my spending say about my lifestyle, habits, and my priorities. That question changed everything that came next. Number 2, adjusting my budget for real life and rising costs. After reviewing the year, I updated my budget, but this time I based it on what actually happened, not what I hoped would happen. I started with the essentials. For energy, I looked at last year's bills and compared providers. Energy prices rise quietly, and if you never check, you almost always end up paying more than necessary. For grocery, I stopped looking at the averages and started looking at real monthly fluctuations. That's where overspending actually shows up, and that's where realistic adjustments become possible. When it came to clothing, I realized something important. I rarely buy clothes, and when I do, it's because something is truly worn out. My Nike Air Max sneakers were completely done, and only then I did replace them. They happened to be on sale, which saved me about $30, but the bigger win was intentionality. And I finally acknowledged rising costs. Food, transport, utilities, all of it is getting more expensive. Ignoring that reality only leads to frustration. Updating my budget with real data made it stronger, more honest, and aligned with who I am actually right now. Number 3, reviewing insurance and fixed bills. Next, I review every recurring contract I had. Health insurance, phone plan, internet, electricity, everything. I ask myself simple but uncomfortable questions. Am I paying for things I don't use? Do I really need this much data? Is there another provider offering the same service for less? And what I found was actually what most people find: small amounts everywhere. $10 here, $15 there, $7 somewhere else. Individually, they don't feel like much, but over a year, they quietly turn into hundreds of dollars. And all of that money is easy to reclaim if you take one focused afternoon to compare everything, which is exactly what I did. And it immediately lowered my monthly expenses. Number 4, doing a subscription detox. After that, I look at my subscriptions. These small automated payments are dangerous because they drain your money and attention without asking permission. I canceled Netflix because I barely watch it. I downgraded Spotify to one share account, and I stopped donating to a foundation whose vision no longer aligned with mine. For every subscription, I ask one question: does this still match my life today? If the answer was no, it was gone. That alone created both financially and mental space. Number 5, checking my emergency fund and sinking funds. This step gave me the most peace. First, my emergency fund. I topped up my buffer because I want 3 to 6 months of expenses saved up. I invested a little less that month to prioritize safety, and that decision gave me calm. Then my car emergency fund. This year I had a major inspection that cost me about $1,300. Now that the big repairs are done, I expect lower costs next year, so I will set aside $50 to $100 per month. For travel, we are going to Dubai for 2 weeks in February. Flights, Airbnb, spending money were already saved in advance. Travel is only stressful when it's not planned for. And I also created a holiday season fund. I know Black Friday was coming and knew I needed certain things, and because I saved ahead of time, I could buy intentionally while everything was discounted. This system removes surprises, and when surprises disappear, confidence takes their place. Number 6, automating a realistic saving and investment plan. I invest 20% of my income automatically. That is non-negotiable. Next year, I will earn less on purpose because I want more time for content and side hustles. So I adjusted my expectations. This year, I invested between $2,000 to $4,000 per month during the higher income months. Next year, it will be closer to $1,000 to $1,500 per month, not because I'm doing worse, but because my priorities are shifted. Automation stays, the amount is just. That is sustainability. Number 7, checking in with my investments. Since I'm self-employed, I don't have a pension. My investments are my pension. And in the end of the year, I check where I started, where I'm now, how much came from contribution, and how much came from growth, and whether I'm moving closer to my long-term goals. Without this, you're moving blindly with it, and every decision becomes intentional. Number 8, doing a financial cleanup. Then I decluttered my financial life. I reduced my bank accounts from 5 to 2, and I checked every app, moved forgotten money, closed accounts that no longer serve me, and I created new folders for 2026 so the year starts organized. It seems small, but clarity compounds. 9, choosing my spending priorities for 2026. This is where planning becomes empowering. I decided in advance what actually matters to me. This Dubai trip, adopting a kitten, scaling my resort from content by paying an editor, organizing my financial system, and my biggest goal, moving from close to $200,000 saved to $300,000 in total investments. When priorities are clear, impulsive spending lowers its power. Every no supports a bigger yes. And number 10, choosing a January challenge. And finally, I choose one January challenge, no extremes, just focused. So for me, that's no duplicated purchases, no new clothes, and a limited dining out budget, or investing $700 in January just to test the discipline. A challenge isn't about restriction, and direction is how momentum starts. If this video resonated with you and you liked it, and I hope it gave you enough clarity, if you'd like to know how I build my net worth, watch this video.